I want to get back to that, but I'm interested in the dystopia start of your writing. Was that because you had an interest in just aliens and invasion? Because dystopia is really, I mean, we're talking like Mad Max. It's the end of the world, bad type of situations. Was this how you were viewing the world that you were living in at the time? Or was it just something that it was just cool to see and examine?
I'd say yes and no. I think there was a part of me that really wrote it from this place of like frustration
Mm-hmm.
with like things that were going on in the world, but there was also, a part of me that was like, this is cool. Like I
Right.
like this.
Mm-hmm.
Um and it was really like a lot of it was just like I was interested in aliens and stuff. But there's also, I noticed in Biome, and this isn't even something I became aware of until years after, there's a lot of themes of isolation in the book.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, we were going through a global pandemic. So I was
Right.
really isolated and I was, stuck at home for most of the time. And it felt really, really challenging to just like go outside. And
Mm-hmm.
that kind of is reflected in Biome. And I just think, it's really interesting because that wasn't something I was at all aware of
Mm-hmm.
at the time. It was just something that I was writing. And then I realized it really kind of, a lot of the things the characters are going through reflected how I felt at the time.
Oh wow. The isolation, because I've always been fascinated at how it affected your generation. Because me, I'm a grown adult. I loved being
Yeah.
isolated because I don't like socializing and going out that much. Just when you get older, these things happen. But for your generation, for your age, that's what you want to do. You want to be around your friends. You want to go out. You want to do things. How isolated, not only from the pandemic, but just in life in general, when comparing to the book You Won't Know Her Name, did you feel? In other words, so you were being bullied in the sixth grade, pandemic comes. So did you feel isolated from the bullying? And then it's just added on to the fact that the pandemic comes and there's an extra layer of isolation there?
I think honestly, kind of the opposite. Like,
Hmm.
I was feeling really isolated during the
Hmm.
pandemic. I also kind of felt kind of free
Wow. Okay.
because, you can't really easily get bullied in the middle of a
But this is true.
pandemic. There's cyberbullying, but that didn't happen until seventh grade. So, um, you know, it was a point where I was like, well, I don't have much to worry about. And honestly, at first, like the first maybe month or so of the pandemic was great. Like, I am not a particularly social person. I'm a bit
Hmm.
of an introvert. I didn't really mind like watching TV all day and not having to go to school in person. But
Hmm.
then, of course, got bored.
Right.
And really, it was the boredom that caused that isolation because, there were things I started to miss. Like, I
Hmm.
really missed the trampoline park
Hmm.
and I missed, like going out to eat and I missed like going traveling. So that's where the isolation came from is like the little things like I missed rather than like I didn't really miss talking to people.
Hmm.
But, I still got through it and how I got through it was writing.
Yes, and that's a fantastic outlet. If you like that clip, go ahead and hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to catch up on all of our latest content. Don't forget to hit the notification button when you do subscribe so you can get updated every time we release content. We release content every day, whether it's an actual show or clips from the shows. So go ahead and subscribe, like, comment. Also, don't forget our Patreon page where you can find our Talking Straight-ish and After Hours Uncensored episodes. That's patreon.com/unsolicited perspectives. But once again, thank you again for listening to Unsolicited Perspectives. I'm your host, Bruce Anthony, and I'm going to catch you next time. I'll holla.